Labor Day first became a federal holiday in 1894 and was proposed by the trade unionists. In 1909, the American Federation of Labor Convention designated the Sunday preceding Labor Day as Labor Sunday, and it was to be dedicated to the spiritual and educational aspects of the labor movement. This bonus day failed to gain traction, but today we bring it back to prominence with the brand new episode of You Tried Dat! You Tried Dat! I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock,
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hey.
Happy Labor Day, guys.
Wow.
You too, man.
It's finally here.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow
is Labor Day.
As we all know, we feel it. It smells like Labor Day outside. As I speak right now. Very close to Labor Day.
I can't believe my kids are back in school.
That's right.
Wow.
Great.
There's a nip in the air. It's fall nears us. Yeah.
Labor.
Nip in the air. Two nips in my shirt.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I think of with Labor Day. So, as we're talking about work a bit, being off work, but I was going to ask you guys if you had any clothing mishaps at work, because the one I remember most is, and I've done this a couple times, is getting a new pair of pants. I just need to work pants. I wear like a slightly nicer pant to work. And I show up and I'm walking through the hall and someone points out to me there's something in my pants, and it is the strip that they put on that tells you the waist and length, like that clear strip. Yeah, the sticker. Yeah. And I was walking around way too long with that on. So I just peel it off and I'm like, that's the fucking style now. You know, I just
That's it.
You peeled that one off, but you left the one on that said like "kick me." That one
right.
you kept on. That's
yes. So I remember that just being like, man, I can't. You know, you get up early, you get dressed in the dark. Some of us. And so maybe you don't recognize what you're putting on. Geiger, you said that's happened to you a few times, right?
Yeah, like what you did would have been the least dumb thing that I've gotten. We often, so there's three common examples. One, there's four. So one is like, you know, when you do the laundry and your socks get caught in different things, like you sometimes get a sock like in your pant leg or like
shirt sleeve, yeah.
Right. So like, I'll find, I'm like, oh, what's this clumpy thing? And I'll pull a sock out of my shirt sleeve. I think that's at least somewhat relatable.
Oh, this pair of socks got stuck right down my front of my pants here. I'm sorry.
Oh, mine's just this big soft bulge in the front of my pants. Oh, nope, that's my penis, everyone. They're looking around.
Hey, is that a sock in your shirt? Nope, just my two nips.
So what might not be as understandable to get stuck in your shirt and still wear to work is a wire coat hanger.
Sticking out the back of your neck or something?
No, it was like one of those real bendy ones, and it got bent, and I just didn't notice. I put it on, and I'm like, this shirt keeps tugging. And then there's like, it's clear there's like a hook sticking out the back. I'm like, all my dumbass friends never said anything. I'm like,
your
what?
back's all cut up, bleeding.
And I remember pulling out of the back of my shirt, and the girl sitting next to me just turns to me like wide-eyed and goes, where'd that come from? My shirt. I stuffed it was down the front of my pants. I was using it to stuff.
To go with that, one of my daughters is really into swimming, and this has happened multiple times where she'll get to the pool, and like the beach towels are exceptionally like stuff clings to them a lot. Like you have to peel stuff off those beach towels, and multiple times, yes, correct. Well, and my wife's underwear, it will be at the pool peeling my wife's underwear off, and she's like, "Mom, your underwear was on my towel again."
It's happened a couple times where I've had like you said, I get dressed in the dark a lot when I go into the office because my wife's still sleeping or something. And so, I will have put my boxers on backward. And so I go to pee in the bathroom and like, there's no pee hole. So then I have to like take scissors out and cut a pee hole down the front.
No choice. Yeah.
Or just rip them like the Hulk.
You have to move all the sacks aside.
But
Yeah.
makes taking a shit much easier.
Oh yeah. I like having the old escape hatch in the back. It's nice.
Yeah.
But the worst one I ever did is once in a while, especially in a hurry, like I'll just, when I'm getting changed the night before, I'll take my jeans off. I'll just leave my belt in there, just throw the jeans on the floor. Everything's fine. And I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm in a hurry. I'm like, oh crap, I don't have time to change my jeans. I just grab the jeans off the floor. The belt's still in them, but I don't think I have a belt on. So I grabbed my other belt and put it on. Somehow didn't notice that there was a belt on
Over
already.
the top of a belt?
Yep. Fed it through all the hoops. So I'm at work and I'm walking around like pants feel bulkier than normal, like something weird. And I go to the bathroom and I'm like, what kind of contraption do we have down here? Like multiple belts. And again, I'm like, so now I'm in the bathroom like, I gotta remove a belt, but it's gonna look weird when I walk back to my desk with a belt in my hand, like I just took off my pants. So I did the only normal thing. I tried to flush the belt down the toilet.
Yeah.
No.
You just try to pass the belt off as like a new tie. Just have it around.
You got to lean in, just like go to someone's cubicle and just like do that snappy thing with the belt right in their ear. Like, I got you.
I just lean over and I'm like, man, did you hear about that new craze about the two belts?
Chad, have you had that before? Or any other work issue?
Yeah, I've definitely put like shirts on backwards or whatever. I think, but not that much because
Casual.
Okay.
Yeah. Put shirt on backwards. You bet.
put a shirt on backwards every now and then.
How many belts did you put on though?
I don't really get dressed in the dark, so I don't have that problem too much.
This man dresses in broad daylight.
Yeah, like a normal. But we definitely had a lot of like weird. We have a lot of weird outfits at work. There's like a lot of nerds. People will dress. Like people will dress in like the same. I don't know if it's the exact same pair of sweatpants and sweatshirt every single day, but it's certainly the same color, same brand. You know what I mean? Like it looks like they're wearing literally the exact same thing every day. I remember the weirdest work outfits was this was maybe 10 or so years ago when I first started. There was like a big Halloween party at the company. So one Halloween there was like a costume contest, and they had all these different categories, like weirdest costume, like most creative costume, whatever. Right. And definitely some people took it a little far. There was one guy that was in like it was like just a skin tight bodysuit that was all rainbow, like neon colored, with just a giant fake like cod piece in there. Like I don't know what that's all about.
K-Belly skin suit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zach got caught in his pants on the way to work.
He had 3 belts in his pants.
And then there was this other guy who he came in. So I'll call him Wally. And he came in dressed in this full like S&M outfit. So he had
at work.
At work. So for the Halloween costume. So he had no shirt on, and he just had like 2 black leather suspender straps, like crisscross and an X across his chest, with like big spikes on them. And then he was wearing like a black Speedo, and then assless chaps, black leather assless chaps. And that was his costume.
Did he have a GIMP mask on?
No. He was just walking around, and he said that the costume, he would tell people it was, quote, Mr. San Francisco. And then
I think I'd say it was the old Demolition tag team from WWE.
And he actually won like one of the categories, like most
likely to get fired.
Yeah, it was like most creative or something like that. I don't remember exactly which category it was, or maybe it was like weirdest costume or something. But so 2 notes on that. One, because of him, the subsequent years they specifically changed the rules. So they had 2 different Halloween parties from like at the following year on.
Became the Mr. San Francisco contest.
Because there was a bunch of kids there, like walking, like everybody brought their families and stuff like that to the Halloween party. And so then they did it from every year on. They had 2 days of Halloween. The first was a family-centric Halloween where you could bring the kids. And then the other one was like a no kids, employees only Halloween thing. I think specifically because of him. So that was the first point. And then the second point is then the following summer, my wife and I went to go see the Pride Parade here in San Francisco. And there's a place in San Francisco called the Citadel, which is like an S&M club, I guess. And they had a float in the parade, and there's a bunch of people like marching down. And lo and behold, there's Wally in his exact Halloween costume marching with the Citadel. and then afterwards they have like the Pride Village that you can go to in San Francisco, where like, you know, companies will have booths or you can get food or whatever. You know, there's just like all these different stuff around. And the Citadel had a booth, and there was a big line of like 50 people long waiting. And you could see what was happening. It was just wide open. But what they were waiting for was they would go and get tied up. And Wally was standing there with like a cat o' nine tails, just like whipping the person that was tied up.
It's a
There's just
creative
a
Halloween
line of
costume.
people waiting to get whipped by Wally.
Wow.
Oh, Wally. Cat o' nine Wally there.
Or maybe they just think he's going to like autograph Mr. San Francisco on their back with his whip or something.
I thought you were gonna say at the Pride Parade, and there's Wally marching with them as Frankenstein.
We definitely had a costume contest. I've talked about it before with some coworkers, but I was telling the story today, actually, this guy I used to work with very closely would always do like a tandem costume with like a bunch of other guys. And one year they did Zoolander. So someone was Derek Zoolander, someone was I think he was the Owen Wilson guy, and then Mugatu, and then someone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to do like the parade around the office and the costume contest, but like
Parade around the office.
they like that all the people in the costumes would walk around the office so everyone could see them and then vote.
First grade? What do you?
Dude, I don't know. So there was like 30 different.
Everybody
Mr.
get in
San
line for
Franciscos.
Wally.
He came around with his whip. I took out my 3 belts and started behind him, just my cat at 9 belts. But he and I co-managed this team, so we got pulled into a meeting with our boss, and so he's in the room dressed fully like Hansel, and like our boss is getting kind of animated. He's like, "I'm not," and he's like, yeah, no, trying to look serious, and the guys are like walking by the office, going, "Come on, let's go, come on!" Like this guy like dressed like Mugatu, like knocking on the thing, and he's going, "Not now." No, he's like trying to motion through the door, and I'm trying really hard not to laugh. And finally, I think our boss is something like, "Now's not the time," or something like that. Try to take him seriously.
The best thing about the like office Halloween day is when people have to perform like legit tasks dressed as these characters.
We had one guy get on stilts and said he was like a Wendigo or something. And I'm like, "What's that?" I asked.
X-Men, like wolf guy?
No, he's something like a Wendigo is some sort of Algonquin mythological creature or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like a version of Bigfoot or something, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's like staggering around the like thing on stilts, and our HR director's over there going like, "You know how to use those, right?" Like she's petrified, it's gonna break his neck.
Yeah. No, this is my first time on him.
Just like, up there with the laptop, just typing.
All right, let's eat some snacks. We've got 3 snacks. We rate them on a 5-point scale. I love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. Let's eat the candy buttons first. Now, these candy buttons most people are probably familiar with because these are the old school, the real deal here. There's long strips of paper with, I don't know, maybe 20 rows of 3 on them. There's blue dots, yellow dots, pink dots, all attached to the paper. Now, I ate these a number of times as a kid. Have you guys had them before?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever have.
I definitely have. I remember not liking them. And I remember the old ones, and I'll be curious to see. My first one was successful, but I remember the old ones, you'd get a lot of paper stuck to it. You ended up eating a lot of paper.
My very first one, I just got a bunch of paper.
I think as a kid, I swallowed like a full like college rule notebook eating these things.
This says there's 3 flavors here, right? Cherry, lemon, and lime.
Yeah. They do taste different. The lemon is definitely yellow, I guess. The blue is lime.
But like, what's the orange?
I think it's just transitioning to pink.
Yeah, some of them are like a half and half deal. If you're not familiar, the dots are just flat out stuck to the paper. They're not covered with anything. You can peel them off with your hand and eat them, or you just sometimes I just put my mouth right to the paper and do it that way.
You heathen.
You get a lot more paper in your mouth when you do it that way.
Yeah, when you eat the paper, you would get more paper than when you don't eat the paper. That makes sense.
I did find these at like a candy shop that sells a lot of old candy. I don't think they're readily available.
These things
stores.
look like they're straight from Back to the Future or something. You know what I mean? Like from the 50s for sure.
Geiger, you're going to lead us off. What do you think of these?
These suck. I knew I was...
I'm beating around the bush today.
No pause.
No.
You almost cut him off.
No, Geiger, you got him. No, I knew I would not like these. I didn't like them as a kid. I don't like eating paper. I keep trying them because I keep trying to see if I notice a different taste between the candies, and I really don't. Like maybe the lemon has a slight lemon twinge. But I'm just might be like, it might be like psychosomatic at this point where I just think I'm tasting it when I'm really not. It's just sugar. It's just sugar on a piece of paper. It's like if you're like making your own candy at home and some dripped on the counter and you eat that and be like, what an ingenious invention I just had. Like this is not good. They have a bad aftertaste. I don't like them. They're not fun. They're a weird crunch. And they don't taste good. So this is a hate dat. I do not like dots at all. But
of all look. You're usually
yeah.
This is something
That's
Chad
true.
says hate. We've done 175 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Chad says he hates it. You and I say, how can you hate something this innocuous?
Okay. All right. That's okay. That's correct. They're at least pleasant in that it's still, I can eat sugar. So, okay. It's a strong dislike. You have swayed me there. That's a fair critique, but they're not good. You're not getting a good out of me.
All right, Chad. What do you think?
All right. Well, I don't like the taste of paper. I don't like the taste of...
That is absurd.
I don't like the taste of sugar. No, I do like the taste of sugar, but if it's just sugar, right? Like if like this just is the taste, I could get the same flavor by just pouring a spoonful of sugar into my mouth, which is only something a psychopath would do. These things are awful, and I was actually only going to give them a dislike dat. But Novak reminded me that this is the kind of thing I should give a hate dat to. Because it's so fucking
I'm glad
pointless.
I put us back in our places.
So I actually am going to give him a hate dat. Now, Novak, tell us why it's a love dat.
Yeah, tell us why you love it. All the nostalgia here.
Look,
Trash
I
Panda
want to
Novak
like
over
them.
here.
I really want to like them. I do. I wanted to. They don't taste bad. It's not fair to say they taste bad because there's not that much of a taste to it. And if you just put like a sprinkle of sugar, if you just like sugar bait my tongue, I wouldn't like not like that taste. Okay. But the little bit of paper on there doesn't taste good.
One of these ingredients I don't like more than the other.
It's a hurdle.
Traces of wood fiber.
I think it's the tree.
So it is going to slide them down to it, and I'm just going to keep men indifferent. They're very
Indifferent?
I'm sorry.
If you weren't eating paper, you'd think these are
I'm
like
not
that?
eating a lot of paper. There's a little tiny shave of paper on it.
Look! Of all the foods we've eaten, what are the smaller amounts of paper we've had to consume?
Where else can you enjoy both the candy and its packaging at the same time?
This made me think of a possible scenario here for you, Chad. Let's say you had to eat you had to eat and rate a Reese's cup with the brown paper around the cup. Would you keep that in indifferent? You probably would, right?
If I had to eat the whole brown paper,
yeah.
like the whole brown wrapper,
It's like wax paper. It's nasty.
That would be a hate dat. I'm eating fucking wax paper.
You prude.
But sometimes you have the Reese's cup and like the bottom of it is sort of like stuck to the wax paper. I will definitely like lick off, like use my teeth to kind of like pull that little bit off the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll do that, but you don't really taste the wax
Mr.
paper.
Reese's
That's
Frisco
because I'm not
here.
like wholly eating the, the wax paper.
All right, let's
I
go.
still love that. Blah, blah, blah.
Let's go
Can't
next
chew it.
to the cookie. I just don't want the taste of this ginger chew in my mouth. Let's go to the cookie.
All right.
Spoiler alert for what we grade that.
All right, this is the Sweet Street is the company. Salted caramel manifesto cookie. Or I don't know if manifesto is part of it. Salted caramel cookie. Where's manifesto fit with the name?
I don't, because it's next to non-GMO and cage-free eggs, so it makes me feel like it's it's an attribute, like vegan, non-GMO, manifesto.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no, it says on the back every batch of our manifesto cookies and bars. So it's like a line of snacks.
Okay.
Through Sweet Treat.
okay.
And it says buttery sweet and salty crunch.
Ugh,
So buttery.
so buttery. I wonder if you'll be able to taste that the eggs were not caged.
What are those chips? There's like is it white chocolate chips or something?
Or is it salted caramel maybe?
Now let me ask you guys.
Yeah.
Look, I'm all for cage-free eggs and stuff like that. And you can make a case like, oh, free range, like, tastes better, that kind of stuff. But like in a cookie, does it really fucking matter if they were in a cage or not?
I think it tastes better if they are. No, that's not true.
It's
I
just
like
a
my
marketing
cookies
thing,
caged.
right?
It's a marketing thing. You don't notice that the egg is more pure from a relaxed chicken, but it's in a baked good. You're not going to notice that.
Mm-hmm.
The bites I think are toffee, Chad, by looking at the
thing.
I also don't taste the GMO or the non-GMO.
Right.
I'm pretty neutral on that.
It's more important to me how many belts the farmer wears.
And how long his manifesto is.
The Unabomber made some great cookies.
Here's everything wrong with city folk. It's like 45-page treatise.
They got 2 cages around their eggs.
Sitting in any long lines for the cat and nine-tail whipping.
Mr. San Francisco with his butt thong walking around the office.
I like my whippings cage-free.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
It's very sweet. Almost too sweet, I think, because I kind of liked it at first, but I broke off like a piece of it, and then I couldn't go back and like get more. I did like 3 or 4 bites, and then I'm like, I think I'm actually good with this. Yeah, it is just like a little too overwhelmingly sweet, and this again with these like kind of big cookies. Look, I don't mind a crunchy cookie. But I think the bigger the cookie gets, the more it needs to be chewy, if that makes sense. Like a big cookie that is like hard and crunchy is worse to me than a big chewy cookie. If it's gonna be crunchy, I want it small. This one's too crunchy for its size, is what I'm trying to say. I just said the same thing like 6 times, 6 different ways in a row.
We get it.
Basically, I was stalling for time, trying to decide if I was gonna give it an indifferent or a like. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think I'm gonna...
Really mulling this over, huh?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with an indifferent to that because I think it is just a little too sweet, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's just not a cookie for me.
City folk and they sweet cookies. I think the sweetness benefits this cookie. I thought it was going to be a little blander tasting. I don't love caramel in a cookie. I don't think that's something I would seek out, and that flavor is not strong here. It is very, very sweet. I think these chips are good. I think the salt on top, very good. Great addition.
That's true.
I was surprised how much I kind of enjoyed this. I didn't think I would. It's very buttery, which is great. I do think it would be better in like if if they had this cookie in like a Girl Scout size, that would be the right way to go. You could just have
Size
like
of a full-size Girl Scout. Holy shit!
2 legs, ponytail,
right
brownie outfit.
40-pound cookie.
city folk in a life-size cookie. I'm gonna say like that for this, but just it's a low level, but I do think it's pretty good. Geiger, what do you think?
This cookie's fine. I don't. I just don't.
Man, we're all having a hard time with this cookie. It's really flustered
This
us.
cookie is quite the conundrum.
You guys talked about how you're glad it wasn't bland and how you're glad there was salt. I actually thought it was kind of bland. It was just sweet to me. It was just, all I tasted was sweet. The toffee kind of broke it up. I didn't taste that much salt. It was very crumbly. At least maybe that's partially because it was transported that way, or by the time it got to me, it was all broken up. Kind of dry. I just didn't. I don't love caramel either as a flavor. If we talked about like in baked goods like this, and I kind of wish there was more salt to it. I feel like we just ate another caramel snack.
More
too,
salt?
that I was expecting more salt, like a
Salt's
little more
fucking
salt to
rolling
balance
off
out the
top.
sweet. I didn't taste as much in mine. Maybe we just I have a more refined palate.
Yeah.
I ate Popeyes for dinner, by the way.
Novak likes to pour sugar on paper. Geiger just wants to pour salt on paper.
Mhm.
I will say this one had decidedly less paper. That's a
Yeah,
point in its favor.
notably less paper.
I'll give it an indifferent to that. It's fine. It's a fine cookie. I just wasn't that impressed.
Ooh, indifferent, huh?
Yeah,
You a long way from home, city boy. Change that answer.
Now sit down while I read you my manifesto.
All right, it's time for the segment, and in honor of Labor Day, we're going to be looking at 6 pairs of jobs. Now, I'm going to tell you the 2 jobs, and you're going to pick which job you'd rather have. They're very strange jobs, but every last one of them is a real job. All right, I looked up weird, real jobs. I will describe them. You will say, if you had to work one of these for the next year, which one would it be? All right. The first
so this is like regardless of salary, I'd assume. It's just like
we're going to say salary is the same no matter what on all of these.
Right.
The first one is a fun one. It's water slide tester who goes around testing water slides for safety and fun. Okay, so like testing a water slide for safety might not end well.
flying off the side.
It's not safe.
Fail.
Just get launched into the sun.
All right, and that's going up against mattress jumper, the person who has to jump on the. Now, there's a quote from a professional mattress jumper who says, "It's work, and it's not for everyone. There's a right and wrong way to do it. Jumps on the mattress, make sure that it's of good quality and can like withstand, I don't know, people jump on it or whatever." So, So, Chad, you're first. Which sounds more appealing to you?
I feel like both of these could easily be replaced. Like you could have a machine that simulates the jump on a mattress. You know, you can send test dummies down a water slide.
Test dummies. Shoving them down a slide.
Just actually, if all you're doing on a mattress is just jumping up and down, like that's not interesting, right? Like the good part about jumping on a mattress is like flopping or jumping from mattress to mattress, you know, like in the mattress store. That
As one
fun.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like water slides. I like that kind of stuff. I think that would actually be really fun. So I'm gonna go with water slide tester.
Geiger.
And plus, like, my fat ass is not getting launched off any water slide. So, like, I'm sure we'll be fine.
You got a real water slide clogger.
Yeah. It's like a fucking magnet to that thing. Just
Chad goes out, it's just like a cork. They're like, where'd the water stop coming out? Where's Chad? It's like building up behind your head.
just cause a nationwide drought.
I think this is pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I think the answer is easily mattress jumper.
Wow.
Really?
And I think, yes. Now here, I also enjoy a good water slide. I think water slide, very fun.
Uh-huh.
But I am with you in it. If I'm testing it for safety, like I don't need to be the guy that discovers like, a loose rivet that tears a hole in my back as I go down, or like go flying off. Oh, we should have made that side longer. Sorry, you're splattered on the pavement. Here's your paycheck. Whereas the mattress is pretty, I'm assuming, unless you're like jumping off the roof of a building onto a mattress, like you're pretty safe. And
I mean, aren't they checking the mattress for safety too? Like you could go smashing right through that top layer, get your feet caught in the springs.
Just go jump on it and just like shatter your tailbone. Ah, it's too fucking hard.
They filled this one with steel.
there's knives poking out the top. But the other thing is it's good exercise. You're working your legs and your glutes, jumping up and down. Like you're in shape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I bet you those guys are fucking jacked. So I'm taking mattress muscles over the.
That is true. Every time I watch like American Ninja Warrior, their job is like mattress jumper. That's like how they got into shape.
Here comes another mattress jumper.
It's all mattress jumpers today.
His wife is a water slide tester. She's in like a full body cast. They're wheeling around.
All right, next one. The next one is a paint dry watcher. All right, it sounds watching paint dry is. Of course, used to say it's a boring job, but it says the guy spends his days painting sheets of cardboard to test how long new paint mixes take to dry and watching for changes in color and texture during the drying process. All right, so that's one of them. Versus cheese listener. It says professional Parmesan cheese listeners strike a rubber acoustic hammer against the cheese wheel to listen for structural defects in the crystallization process. If there are defects, the cheese listener will take a core sample for tasting. So you either listening to cheese, these are the two, got to be the most boring job in the world. Let's say you're qualified to do them. Geiger, which would you rather do?
I mean, I feel like this is a bit unfair. You're basically asking me.
This guy's been listening to cheese his whole life.
I've taken many a core sample from my own body. After I've eaten cheese. What I'm saying is I would brown out the factory. That Parmesan. God, no, not another one. No, structural damage. No. And just eating it and just shitting my pants.
Yeah, hopefully you're not like going from your cheese listening job to your mattress jumping job.
Squish. Oh, what happened to Nick over there?
Or to your water slide job.
Yeah, just a streak down the water slide. Yeah.
So you're taking paint dry due to your...
I mean, yeah, by default. But I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd rather do cheese. I just think I'm not physiologically based to do it. So the watching paint dry, holy, how long does it take paint to fully dry? Like in 20 minutes, an hour?
Watching paint dry is like watching paint dry.
I'd sooner eat paper than watch paint dry.
Chad, which do you like?
All right, so... At first glance, the cheese listener one seems like the obvious choice because, like, who doesn't love cheese? Actually, Parmesan is a delicious cheese, right? But I don't want to just eat straight Parmesan. You know what I mean? Like, You're never going to take, like, a wedge of Parmesan and just cronk right into it. You know what I mean? Like, you grate it onto pasta. That's like, or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's what it's for, right? And to actually just eat Parmesan straight it's way overwhelming. So unless I could like outsource the tasting part of it, because like I would get super sick of the Parmesan, then I think by default I have to take the paint dry one.
That's a good point.
All right, 2 paint dries. Next one, an odor judge. So when they're testing like deodorant products, these people put their nose up to people's armpits and smell to see how long it lasts if it's working. All right.
Mm-hmm. I think there was a line for that at Pride also.
That is up against dog surf instructor. So, you have to, some rich asshole wants his dog to surf. And this dog is not Spuds McKenzie. It's just some rotten old dog who wants no part of surfing.
That's some cool dude dog.
Right. So these both are clearly very shitty. Chad, which would you rather do?
I, in general, hate, like, if it's if it's limited to deodorant, I guess that's one thing. But I really hate the smells of like really strong deodorants or like perfumes,
Axe
colognes,
body
that
spray.
kind of stuff. Axe body
How
spray.
about armpits? That's a lot worse than deodorant.
Sometimes, yeah, but like some of those ones just smell so bad. Some of those like body care products or whatever smell so bad to me.
Ocean breeze.
And I like dogs. The only problem is I don't like surfing, and I don't think I'd want to be in the water for like all that much. But I like dogs, so I'm gonna go with the dog surf thing. And there, you for sure would get some very like Instagrammable opportunities on that job. You know, just like taking selfies with the dogs on the surfboard, stuff like that. You probably have a lot of followers, so that'd be cool.
Of
Don't
a
forget
dog, a blurred photo of a dog squirming to get away from you.
A blurred photo of a dog struggling for air as it sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Hang 10.
Okay, which one do you like?
I mean, so I guess we're doing this on the premise that I'm qualified for the job. Like
Sure,
you said.
right.
So like, because like, I can't surf, so like,
You could definitely smell someone's pits, though.
I know how to do that. The thought of smelling someone's sweaty, unvarnished pit is revolting. And the thought of handling, it could be varnished. Handling someone's dog on a surfboard is maybe demeaning. Like, there's something demeaning about a rich guy going, "Teach my dog to surf." All right, sure. Here, like, what are you supposed to teach him? Like, put him on there?
He's not getting any better.
He hasn't gone on a class 5 wave. I don't know what the hot class 5 wave is, but
City folk and they surfing dogs.
Now you Spuds, you're cool.
I can just picture like some fucking guy he just rolls in on his yacht and like throws his dog at you, and he's like, "Teach the fucking dog to surf."
Make him surf.
Chucks a gold bar at your head as he goes on past.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, set my cat up on Twitch. Like, no, I'm not. Why am I doing this? The fuck? This guy's too rich. So I guess I will go with dog surfer just because I can't sniff people's pits.
He's
That's
like,
gross.
teach my parakeet to skydive. Why? You can fly already.
All right, halfway there. The next set, professional cuddler. All right, for about $60 to $80 an hour, it's pretty good. We'll say that both are going
Whoa.
to pay this. A professional cuddler can reinvigorate your mind and soul just by simply holding you and making you feel loved. So, you don't know who's, you're not choosing the clientele is the issue.
Mr. San Francisco
Sure.
has it coming over.
It's Wally, right?
Cuddle with my cat of nine tails.
My dog had a rough day on the ocean. Just because you cuddle with him.
Just a sopping wet dog.
All right, that's up against Subway Pusher. So it says Tokyo is home of one of the busiest and most efficient railway transportation systems
I
in the
know
world.
this job.
It's also home of over 8 million people who take the subway. So during rush hour, people stand there, and it's their job to push and cram people into the subway cart.
I have been subway pushed before. When I was in Tokyo and like I rode the subway, there's so many people on the fucking subway,
Sure.
right? And like it's wall to wall people already, and then you get to the next stop and more people just try to come in, and there's a guy standing there dressed in all black with white gloves on. And all he does is he just pushes people in the back and like keeps pushing them in, and the whole crowd just gets squeezed more and more into the subway, and then the doors close. And then you get to the next stop, and it just happens over and
Does
over
that
again.
guy
Like,
ride the train too?
No, he's just standing there in the station just to push people in.
Is he
And
like
then-
really strong? Like, does he need
He just looked like
muscles to do it?
No,
or-
he just looked like a normal dude. People aren't resisting him. They're just like, you just need that little extra shove to like push everybody else in. And
It's
it's
just
like
some giant
you can't-
beefcake just shoving people.
The Rock just stuffing this train car full of people. Oh,
I mean,
boy.
that definitely seems like something that like the guy who's paying for the dog surfing would do as an experiment, right? Like, let's see how many people we can shove into this fucking subway car.
So Geiger, based on those descriptions, the cuddler or the pusher, what would you rather do?
Definitely. The cuddler is. creepy, man. That's I don't like.
I thought you were gonna say something good about the cuddler.
No, a cuddler. That sounds right up this guy's alley. You know what I'm saying? I'd do it for free. No, I think the cuddler's strange. It would. I don't know. I understand maybe like. I guess I don't. But but like someone. I mean, maybe like an old person that just wants some sort of affection, or someone who's really lonely, have someone like cuddle them. It's a stranger and it feels intimate, but it's not. It's just weird, and you have no control over who hires you. You could maybe double dip and do the pit smelling thing at the same time, but as they're sleeping, just
what
slowly put deodorant on them.
What are you wearing? Sure. Okay. Beep beep boop boop boop. Yeah, sure. It's not getting the job done.
This dude's pit smell. And I do think that might be kind of funny to be like, just like slam people into a subway. That might be kind of fun, and it's a good workout.
All right, Chad, you agree?
I don't agree that it's a good workout. It's not. It doesn't. Again, this is just like a normal dude, looks like me, maybe just kind of pushing people through.
Jacked.
I was gonna pick the cuddler actually, because I like cuddling. Like I think cuddling's fun, and like if it helps somebody feel less lonely, like that feels like sort of it would be like a kind of emotionally rewarding sort of job. But Geiger mentioned the olds, and I don't really want to cuddle with a super old person. So maybe that makes me a bad guy. So I will take the subway pusher.
You know who really does not like that subway situation is that old country boy.
He's got a big manifesto about there's too many city folk.
There's too many people on this street, and then just getting shuffled.
I bet you old country man would like to be cuddled, though. He might hire the cuddler.
Oh, absolutely.
Read him his manifesto.
All right, I'm sorry we had to go. You knew it was getting to this point.
Yeah, here we go.
Panda fluffer.
All right. Okay, not what I thought you were gonna say.
No,
but all right.
Okay.
Pandas. This is copied and pasted. Pandas are an endangered species. And
Copy and pasted from your own fan fiction.
Copy and paste from the one ad that you wrote last night.
Pandas are an endangered species and notoriously difficult to breed. To get these shy animals in the mood, panda fluffers use feather dusters and extreme caution to help them perform.
Extreme caution. And a bunch of hired cuddlers.
So not desirable. It is up against professional mourner. So they hire you for a funeral. You show up and pretend you're really sad. You fake cry your way through the funeral. Which also is very, very
I
depressing.
imagine it's like if there's a funeral and like nobody liked your, like the person that died or whatever. And so then you just bring some professional mourners to make it look like people gave a shit about this person.
To what end? No one else is there.
Well, there's probably a couple people there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know.
So then they go, oh, how'd you know the deceased? We fluffed a panda last weekend, huh?
I think they would probably just say his wife paid me to be here.
That's not sadder somehow.
That's how I knew.
This guy, he was a water slide tester.
We're still collecting his bones.
A couple of loose rivets. All right, both undesirable. Chad, which is the better of the two?
Boy, that funeral one sounds so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
I already don't like funerals to begin with. I guess nobody likes funerals. I don't know who the guy is. I fucking love when people die.
Nothing depressing about tickling a panda with a feather duster to get him hard.
I actually don't think. I mean, pandas are cute. They're super cute.
Funeral homes like funerals, I guess. I don't. Morticians keeps them in business.
Sure, yes. The Addams family likes funerals, and
yeah, famous mortician, the Addams family. Wednesday Addams, professional mourner.
So actually, I would definitely go with the panda one. I think that, I mean, it's weird, but I think it would at least be like a little interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You rang.
So you have to get the panda hard, with a feather duster and like, so it's not like I'm like dressing
And
like
a lot of
female
caution.
panda
Yeah.
and, like,
Don't forget the
gyrating.
caution.
Yeah, very much caution.
Stress the caution.
And then what? Just point at the female panda? Like, no, not me. Over there. Go get Shibu or whatever.
Again, I'm the one tickling you with this, but
I know that I've turned you on a lot, but go talk to that female panda. Look, I got the stuff. I get
Do
it.
you have to line the panda up? Like, is there any, assistance going there?
I don't think that's using caution by positioning a panda bear's hips. That's not.
it should really be called Panda Wingman.
Is that what you call a wingman? If we were both single, you mean I had not to bother jacking me off until I'm hard. All right, guy. The rest is up to you. Find a woman.
Right before we go out to the bar.
Just got this giant boner. Thanks, man. Great
I get you.
I'm talking to a girl while you're just brushing my pants with a feather duster into the table. No, Greg, no, I don't like her yet. No, stop. I mean, I have to. I guess I gotta jack the panda because I can't go to a funeral, and that's just depressing.
Jacking the panda. The feather duster.
Well, okay, whatever. Getting them hard, turning them loose.
City folk and their fucking wingmen.
Okay. Last one.
Mm.
And these are not so much this last set is not a job. It is two people. This is dipping into one of my other segments. They're two people from Craigslist who needed help with something. All right. They're willing to pay.
All right.
Okay. This one is called a mini marshmallow hand feeder. All right. If you're an open-minded, honest, clean, hard worker in Austin, Texas, this could be the job for you. Tasks may include hand feeding mini marshmallows, racing shopping carts, and playing Pictionary. Applicants must be childlike, innocent fun, and submit resume in haiku form.
What's the job?
There's a lot to unpack there.
What, you don't know what the job? What's the job?
You are hand feeding this guy marshmallows, okay?
Uh-huh.
You're racing him in shopping carts and playing Pictionary with him.
Mm.
And you've got to be into childlike, innocent fun. It's not in quotes, even though it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like tickling pandas, but just to make them laugh, not to make them hard.
Right.
That sort of fun.
It is
Sounds
signed Jim Panda. So I mean,
Jim.
all right, so that's your first one. You could do that job.
Uh-huh.
Or this one is called the cat holder downer. All right. An industrious home grooner in Asheville, North Carolina needs help with his rockin' awesome cat as he gives it a haircut.
Rockin' awesome. I'll bet.
The holder downer will be compensated with beer, good music, and stimulating conversation. I mean, just to say, you may bring a companion, alert the authorities your whereabouts, or do anything else to make you feel safe. So, which, let's be fair, that's more than the first guy offered you.
Hey, man, you want to come with me this weekend? Yeah, what are you doing? I'm holding out a cat while it gets shaved. What?
Okay, so the first one, you're feeding this guy marshmallows, hanging out with and whatever happens, happens. The second one, you are holding down this man's angry cat while he gives it a haircut.
Out of curiosity, oh, that's right. So the second one pays beer and camaraderie, and the first one pays what? Like the marshmallow person.
Yeah, pays fun, I guess.
Just fun?
I think actually the one cat guy said he paid $10. Let's say neither one is paying anything. Okay. But you got to do one. Geiger, where are you going?
Wow.
I mean,
oh boy.
I guess I'm holding downer that cat. I mean,
holding downer. Go downer.
This cat is going downer.
This cat's hair length is going downer. Do I have to teach the cat how to cook too, or like for some rich guy? Or
do I have to teach this cat how to surf? Because that's going to go badly.
Yeah. I mean, the cat one at least doesn't sound like a thinly veiled sexual escapade
Yeah.
of some sort.
He
And
might
like,
make it back alive, right?
yeah, well, I'm allowed to bring a friend and or tell the cops I'm gonna hold a cat down because that will make them more suspicious of me.
911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I'll be over at this rockin' awesome cat, so just wanted to let you know.
If you hear a lot of screeching, just me holding out a cat while I get shaved. Don't come knocking because there's going to be some good music and beer. $10, and I guess I could wear like gloves and stuff so I don't get scratched up by this unwilling participant.
You just come in like a full beekeeper's outfit, like I'm ready.
How much hair are they taking off this cat? Like, anyway, no, it's cat all the way. I don't think that's even an option. The other one just sounds disgusting.
All right, Chad.
Oh boy. Okay, so this is tough because I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. So I don't love that, and I do like racing cars.
No. Wait, hold up.
Grocery carts.
It's racing carts.
Oh,
yeah, carts.
I also love
Shopping
racing,
carts.
Racing shopping carts. Yes, my brother and I used to do that all the time when we were kids. I still sometimes do it. Like I'll sometimes do it where you try to line the cart up with when they're in their parking lot with the cart return thing, and then you just like run as fast as possible and like hop on it and try to ride it all the way into the thing. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
But I mean, Pictionary's fine, like whatever. I wish they were full size marshmallows instead of mini.
Yeah.
Just personal preference there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think I'm gonna go mini marshmallow guy. I mean, I think it could be fun. It could be fun. I think it's more interesting. Like this other guy just sounds like some fucking brosif. That's lazy to shave his own cat.
Sure, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ninth round of Pictionary. All right, person plays their thing and just drawing a dick on there again. With an arrow pointing to his body.
Well, hopefully everybody doing those jobs will get a day off tomorrow to enjoy Labor Day. So.
Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow is
That's
Labor
right.
Day.
Tomorrow, Labor Day.
Tomorrow.
Let's
Cats
eat our
all be
last
hairy.
snack. Our last snack is the Gin Gin, which is coincidentally the name of that cat that needs to be held down. It's a chewy ginger candy. The company is the Ginger People, and that's not a joke. And the flavor is original. So we did do a ginger candy a long time ago.
Chime ginger chews. I think,
Chimes. Now we talked about this. Chad, we both said this. Our wives both love ginger chews.
Yes.
Yes, my wife gets them all. It's the thing she gets the most of anything we have tried on this podcast, and I hate those other ginger chews. I'm hoping this one is a bit better.
So she's never gotten these ones. Does she just only get the chimes?
She has tried these, she said, but she gets the chimes more often.
Yeah, my wife loves the gin gins. She loves them.
These are gingery.
Very chewy.
I don't get this at fucking all. It's just upsetting to me.
I said I thought it was interesting.
Oh my!
There it comes. There's the ginger.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is fucking terrible.
Why did you put the whole thing in your mouth at once, or?
Ooh.
No, I did a halves because I know my wife wants to go to half.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so bitter.
It really builds on you.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. This will come as no surprise. I don't fucking understand it at all. I don't get it even a little bit. What is the appeal of this? But I can say there are people I know, two of them, my wife, Chad's wife, that love these things. Like love them, just eat them one after another. It blows my mind. These are one of my least favorite foods. And this brand is no different than the other ones I've had. This is a very, very easy hate dat. Geiger, what do you think?
I'd rather eat the wax paper entirely of the buttons. This is terrible. This is worse than the other ginger chews by far. I don't, well, and it's also exacerbated by the fact that I don't like ginger, like period. As a flavor, if it's in something, it's fine, but I really don't like it. I don't like ginger ale. I don't like any of that stuff. And this is just
People with red hair.
I don't like red-haired people. I don't like the woman from Gilligan's Island. Famous gingers. This is so bad. It is so intensely ginger. If you like ginger, you might really enjoy this because it is intensely ginger, and it almost has like a weird heat that like builds on your tongue from the ginger. And it's. I've drank half a glass of water and ate something else, and I still can't get it out of my mouth. This is terrible. This is a clear hate that. I don't like this at all. This is bad.
Okay, so the cookie has already won. The only question here is whether we have a flaming bag. Chad.
I actually don't think these are as bad as the chimes. I seem to remember hating the chimes more than these. But I want to be clear, they still suck shit. Yeah, I mean, I only ate half. I spit it out. I actually kind of like ginger. Like, I like ginger flavored things. Like, I like gingerbread a lot, and I like when, you know, we'll cut up some ginger and we'll put it when we're making like stir fried vegetables and stuff like that. I think it can add a lot, but just straight ginger, it's too overpowering for me. It's too, like, the heat builds up too much for me. Plus, the consistency of this thing, even if this didn't taste like ginger, it'd probably at least get a dislike that for me, just for like how chewy and sticky and everything it is. But it is gonna get a hate that for me.
3 hates, a flaming bag of dog shit, and the ginger chews. Look, we're going to be eating some bugs and things like that coming up, so it may be beat out, but we will definitely see it at the end of the year.
The Dunkaroos are worse than the ginger chews, I think.
The Dunkaroos are real bad. There's no,
They're very bad.
no getting around that.
Dunkaroos tasted like the end result of a Panda Fluff excitement.
All right, Geiger, where can listeners contact us?
If you have done any of those strange jobs, if you're the guy that needs the marshmallows fed into his mouth, looking for a side gig. If you have been shoved or shoved someone into a subway, either like an actual underground subterranean train or like a subway sandwich shop. If you have any suggestions for things we should eat on the pod, if you want to debate our rankings of other food, have a question for the mailbag, just have any feedback in general, you can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We are on Twitter, hashtag You Tried Dat. We're on Facebook and with the You Tried Dat group, and we're on YouTube and Instagram as well. Please give us a listen. Review our podcast, tell your friends and family, and as always, thank you very much for listening.
Let me ask you quick about the idea of being fed like the marshmallow guy. Is there any appeal to that, you know, of somebody feeding you food? Like, usually when you see it in a movie, it's grapes or something like that. Is there anything to that? And is there a food that could make you change your mind? Like, obviously, someone feeding you a Reese's cup, but it's not like really a food you just feed somebody, because you'd have to hold the bit in half of it.
Yeah. So I don't understand the appeal at all. My wife sometimes will want, like, especially actually after we record the podcast, I'll come upstairs and I'll be like, oh, here's the snacks we tried. And she will want me to feed her them so that her hands don't get sticky or whatever. She's just sitting there watching TV. Yeah. But even then, I don't think I'd want that. Not even with a Reese's cup, because you're getting like their fucking greasy hands all over it and all that shit. Like, I don't want anybody feeding me food at all. Plus, it just feels kind of like demeaning a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel uncomfortable at like fancy restaurants when the waiter's like hovering by and like a crumb falls on the table. And
how fancy is this restaurant?
Sweeps it off.
And he's shoving Reese's cups into your mouth.
I feel really weird at the Fuddruckers when he's jamming a burger in my mouth. Yeah. I feel like awkward being like waited on hand and foot sometimes. And so this would even be more awkward of just someone whose job is to watch me chew food and wait till I swallow and stuff more in my fat face. It's and like, especially if it's like, I don't know, how do you do like spaghetti and meatballs or something? It'd be a little tricky. Real messy, just dangling the noodles into my mouth or something. I just think that would be very odd. Novak, you've actually hired someone to do that before, right?
Absolutely. Spaghetti and meatballs is usually the choice, yeah. I feel that maybe it's with the grapes you can kind of hold the vine part of it, but yeah, it'd have to be something that I could eat without like their hands having to have touched it.
Well, but Novak, didn't you say you used to do this stuff where like you guys would throw, like you and your
Yes,
brother
yeah,
or
it's true.
something would throw food and you'd catch them in your mouth?
Absolutely.
That's kind of an advanced version of that, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Gotcha!
I always have these fantasies of I'm trying to think of some attractive woman, Kathy Ireland from 1985,
Very
standing,
timely reference.
standing,
reference,
right,
yeah.
standing across the room, throwing grapes to me.
Would the mini marshmallow job be better if you could just chuck the mini marshmallows from across the room and like you didn't have to?
Absolutely,
Way better.
Them city folk and their Nicki Minaj, they can't even have a appreciation for Kathy Ireland anymore.
Kathy Ireland, the true country girl.
I don't know. Yeah,
She's named after a country, so there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
She is a country girl.
That's a loophole. You saved his ass there.
She's
Good
one.
one.
Like when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
the supermodel names.
Yeah.
It was Cindy Crawford and Kathy Ireland. I
Yes.
couldn't name
Yeah.
someone else who was like a supermodel.
Maybe like Elle
From that
McPherson or
time.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's the equivalent of that now. I guess there's just
I mean, now it'd be
So
like
Wolf Blitzer.
Anna De Armas or somebody like that.
Yeah, it'd be
you
an
know,
actress or
like
something. There's really
yeah.
no. Maybe Tom Brady's wife, is it Giselle?
Kate Upton or something.
Yeah.
all right.
All right, models.
Well, that'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. We'll try out 3 brand new things.
Just
Yep.
You can be my wingman anytime. Bullshit. You can be mine.